Hi everybody, my name is Christopher Bennett. So when I initially started attending University of Houston, I came in as an undecided student. I didn't know what major I really wanted to pursue. So I took my first year to kind of, take a few classes and figure out what I wanted to do. So I took some classes in architecture because from high school, I went to the High School for Performing and Visual Arts. I had done some behind the scenes work for set designing, so I knew I was a little bit interested in that and maybe some technology stuff. I also took introduction engineering class and computer information systems class. So this kind of started the process on me figuring out what I wanted to do. So after taking that year, I realized that I didn't want to be an architecture student anymore. For me, it was down to College of Engineering or College of Technology. The way that I chose College of Technology over engineering was that engineers realized that they used the technology in order to solve world issues, while technology was more of the making of those instruments for engineers to use. And I find that I'm more of a hands-on person. So I went into the College of Technology as a computer information systems major, and I was in that major for about a year, and I realized that I didn't like that. And so I went and talked to my CIS advisor, and she thought that I should go and talk to a supply chain advisor. We made a list of my likes and dislikes, and she thought that my likes aligned a lot with what supply chain was offering. So that's what I did. So that day I actually went over to the College of Technology Supply Chain Department. I talked to this great lady, her name is Shandolyn. She was actually my advisor for 3 years of my undergraduate career, and she really helped me a lot. And so we just sat there and we kind of talked a little about my interests. We found that they did align with supply chain, and that also I would be able to use some of my CIS courses to get an emphasis in the CIS track that supply chain was offering. So I thought it would be a great idea because I wasn't losing any of my classes, and I was also able to start the process of working in an industry that I would really enjoy. And what I liked about supply chain the most is the fact that, one, it was an ensemble of people to talk with and to solve problems with from high school, from being a theater artist at HSPVA. And so I thought that the major would really fit. And also what I liked about supply chain is the fact that I wasn't going to be bottled into just doing one thing like IT, right? I could be an analyst, I can be a logistics manager, I could be a buyer, I could be a procurement specialist. There's just so many different things that you can do in supply chain logistics. And so I thought that it would be a great career choice for me. So while in the undergraduate program, I did have 3 people that really influenced my experience as a student. The first one would be Arline-Johnson, who was my advisor. The second one would be Dr. Sharon Green, who I worked with as a student ambassador. And the third would be Carlo Deason. So I did participate in the student ambassadorship program that COT offers. I was a student ambassador my senior year of college, and in the student ambassadorship, I got to meet a lot of my peers that I wouldn't have met if I wasn't in the program. I also got to meet a lot of the administrative staff who I was able to make lasting connections with. But one of my most fond memories of being in the student ambassadorship was actually talking to a group of elementary students and getting them excited and a little bit more knowledgeable about what college was, what the College of Technology had to offer, and also giving them information about my major, supply chain. And the way that I explained my major to them was through actually making lemonade. So that was a really cool experience. And again, I got to work along Dr. Sharon Green, and she kind of guided me how to talk to kids because I had never taught a class or anything like that before. So that was a super exciting experience. So currently I am a capital needs field engineer for EBI Consulting, and EBI Consulting is an engineering, environmental, and design firm. I work on the due diligence side of things, completing property condition assessments and reports for those property condition assessments. My first piece of advice would be to make sure that you're joining as many clubs as possible. So clubs outside of the College of Technology are great, but I think clubs inside College of Technology are even better. And even better than that are clubs that are specified around your major. So a lot of times these clubs will have employers come and sit in on the meetings and give informational sessions about, what their company has to offer. You never know, some of those employers that sit in on the meetings, they could possibly be looking to fill an internship opportunity or to fill opportunities that are full-time after graduation. So make sure that you're joining as many clubs as you possibly can. And not only that, outside of creating a job opportunity, I think it also connects you to your peers. You're able to network with who you sit next to in class. Those are people that you might be working with one day in your field of study. So make sure that you're joining those clubs. The second piece of advice that I would give you is to make sure that you are staying abreast with your advisement appointments and making a genuine connection with your advisor. Your advisors are there to help you, and they're there to guide your undergraduate experiences. You never know who an advisor might be connected to, which could lead to your next internship opportunity or even a job opportunity after graduation. So make sure that you're staying connected with them and that you are keeping them in the loop on your studies and what you are expecting out of the program. The third piece of advice that I would give you is to try something new. A lot of times people like to stay super focused on their major, but I think it's important for your undergraduate experience and also for life in general is just not to pigeonhole yourself into one thing. So if you're a construction management major, maybe take an HRM class. If you're an HRM major, maybe take a engineering technology course. And I think that would really even enlighten the major that you're mainly focused on, because it's not until you take those different classes that you realize that a lot of these things are interconnected. With me, I was in supply chain undergrad, but I'm now a construction management graduate. And I do lean on some of that supply chain experience now in the field of construction management. So make sure that you are diversifying not only your resume, but diversifying your experiences in your undergraduate program as it relates to your classes. You never know where that could lead you.